Moving into 2024, I've got some great updates for you about the real estate market. What is inventory levels doing? What is pricing doing? What's days on market? All that good stuff. So stay tuned, you're not gonna wanna miss this. So in 2024, we've moved into a new year in real estate. Last year was very interesting and dynamic. For me, it was a very busy year. I've got a lot of repeat customers and a lot of people that send me referrals, which I absolutely love, because that means they like me. But you know, it was a very successful year for me, and going into this year, I feel the same kind of momentum building, which is fantastic. But I want to give you an overall idea of what's going on in the area. So for you, those of you that follow my YouTube channel, you know that I don't do market updates like every single month. I tend to do them on a quarterly basis, and I will throw some statistics at you because obviously you want to know the numbers, but I'm not going to, you know, get out my graph and talk through 30 minutes worth of numbers and digits and things like that. So when it comes down to it, it's really more of like an overview kind of vibe and everything. So, excuse me, on the upside, we have more inventory than we did last year. So if we look at Bay County, which is Panama City Beach and Panama City, which is a pretty big, wide area, we have currently about 2,000 properties on the market. Now, that are all different type of property types. That's homes, that's condos, that's land, that's the whole schmear. That's all different price points, size of properties, all that kind of good stuff. And the interesting thing was we have about 1,500 of those out here on the beach. Again, variety of all different type of properties and price ranges as well. And if you want to dive into that a little bit more, there's about 900 condos on the market. So if we take that 900 off of that 15, let's see, can I do math? Let's see, that's about what, 600 units, yeah, of all different types and all different price points and stuff. So there's a lot more condos on the market now. Not that there's a whole lot more coming on the market, but just days on market, how longer it's taking for things to sell. It's just what's kind of adding to that, if that makes sense. Now, if you want to look at single family homes, let's say on the beach side, there's currently 447 single family homes available for sale in Panama City Beach. However, if you want a home under, let's say $500,000, so 500,000, there's 124 choices. So still a decent amount. It's actually more, because I'm thinking back to this time last year, and I think that count was roughly about 50. So definitely some more options and choices for buyers, which is a great thing. Now, if we go into Panama City, there are currently, I'm gonna put my glasses on, hold on, because I actually have my notes because I couldn't memorize everything, sorry. In Panama City, there's 390 single family homes on the market. And if you're looking for a price point under, say, 350,000, there's about 225 available. Now, the difference with Panama City is that there's a lot of new construction going on. So there's several different home builders, one predominantly that builds over there in multiple different communities. And the really cool thing about that is if you want you can get a brand new spanking home for under $300,000 in a nice community that may have some amenities like a pool, or even like Liberty out there, which I really like, has a huge clubhouse and massive pool and splash pad. And I've done a lot of videos in that community, so I'm gonna post that there for you so you can check it out. But the other nice thing about new construction, just kind of think about that for a second, is that that builder, if you use their lender to finance, they're gonna give you a lot of money for closing costs. A lot of times it will cover all those closing costs, and they offer an interest rate that is well below all the competition in the market. So you can get in there at a really good interest rate and get your closing costs paid for, and oh, by the way, have a brand new house, okay? Which from an expense standpoint makes a lot of sense because you have new everything, right? And then you also have a less insurance bill because you have new everything. Now I'm just digressing. I'm just telling you all about new construction. Anyway, let's go back. So the average days on market in Bay County, so again, that's Panama City and Panama City Beach, is about 120 days. And then condos are about 150 days, okay? So even if properties are priced well and they're priced correctly, it's still taking 4, 5, 6 months to get those properties under contract. So again, very different, you know, feel from the market from a couple years ago, where it was like boom, bang, boom, boom, come on the market and it's gone the next, you know, within the hour kind of thing. So for buyers, there's a lot more choices and have been a lot more choices, and it's growing a little bit more than it did last year. So one big indicator of market pricing to me is the sold percentage to list price. So what that means is, what percentage did the property sell of what it was listed for? So if it listed for, say, 300,000, most properties are selling at 96 to 97% of what it listed for. That makes sense. So what that equivalates to is that if the property is priced correctly, the seller is basically getting their price. Okay, they're getting their price, or they're getting a little bit of discount on it. So that means that we're pretty well priced in the marketplace. Now, there are some larger adjustments that have happened, but that's typically been the properties that have been sitting on the market for like a year now, because those sellers still think it's, you know, pre-2022, and they still think that it's worth this when it's, you know, settled down some. So you've seen a couple of those where the sellers are like, all right, fine, and I'll $100,000 less. But that's going to be typically on your much, much higher end condos and big houses and things like that. So to break down for just the past, like, kind of go into microcosm for a second. So the last 7 days in Bay County, put my glasses back on, there were 241 new listings and 100 closings. Now, what needs to be mentioned about the 241, because you're like, oh, that's a lot of listings in a week, right? But what you don't see as the public, and I see as a realtor behind the scenes, is that there's been cancellations of properties. There's been withdrawals of listings. There's been expired listings come on. So even though we had 241 new listings come on in Bay County, 99 were canceled or expired or withdrawn. And then we also had 47 properties come back on the market. Okay, so for various reasons, financing, buyer changes their mind, whatever the case may be. So the net effect, when you factor those things in, we're about 184 properties that were like new to the market. Okay, and 154 went under contract just in the past 7 days. So still movement going on, still sales going on, just the days on market a little bit longer and a little bit more inventory. And mainly that's because things are staying on the market longer. So not like a huge amount of properties coming on the market, just they're staying on the market longer. So going into this year, sales are really not too far off pace from 2023. Demand is definitely still there for certain property types. Interest rates have been trending down for the last couple months. You know, we don't know where that's going to go, but we're hearing that by the end of the year, we're going to continue to see kind of that tick down in interest rates. So it's hard to say how much they'll come down overall. But one thing I know for sure, and I'm an investor on multiple properties, and I've seen this firsthand. So I was able to actually purchase 3 houses within a 6-month period of time at the end of 2022 and then going into 2023. I didn't fight a bunch of other people for that property. They were sitting on the market for not too long, but I didn't have to fight a bunch of people for it. I was able to negotiate with the sellers. I was able to get some closing costs paid. I was able to take my time and look, okay? And the reason I did that, because they were like, oh, your interest rate's higher, because I'm not a cash buyer, I'm a finance buyer. So like, yeah, it was, but at the end of the day, it's all about that return on my investment and equity that I'm gonna gain in that property, right? So for me, it made sense to go forward and do it. And that's the way a lot of my clients have looked at it too. Because think about it, the minute those interest rates tick down, and let's say we drop, you know, a full point, for instance, what happens? All those buyers that have been sitting off on the sidelines, which may include you, are gonna start rushing in. Okay, and then that's gonna lead to multiple showings on a property, that's gonna lead to multiple offers, and it's gonna ultimately lead to sellers raising those prices back up, because they're gonna see the interest interest going on in the market, right? So it may not be their particular property, but the next guy who has the condo in the same building, he'll raise his 10,000 more or 20,000 more. Do I think we'll be back into what we were back in 2020 and 21? I don't think we'll be back to that extent, but we'll definitely see momentum go up. So for me, I think it's a great time to buy and take advantage of what's going on in the market now. And then as long as it makes sense for you financially or you find exactly what you love. So that is the market update. That is the whole vibe of what's going on here in Panama City Beach and in Panama City. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I've got some videos at the end that you can watch. You can watch the previous market update, or you can watch some of my other videos on investment, or also Liberty. I'll post that again as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate the support. I love putting out new content on a regular basis to educate everybody on buying and selling real estate in the Panhandle. Have a great day from Panama City Beach. Bye.